in case you're new. I like to share dreams that I truly believe are from God that I have. And I'm recording in my kitchen today, which is unusual because I typically don't record in my kitchen. I usually record in my bedroom. And the reason I'm recording in my kitchen is because most of the time I record in my bedroom because I have families in here and they can sometimes be loud. But actually, it's just me and my 2 nephews, and my dad's back there. So it's not that loud today. So if you do hear any noise, my nephew is over there and he is playing video games. So if you do hear any noise, it's probably just him. They are both really into video games. But I guess that's just kids this age. They just really like playing video games. And of course, I'm wearing a coat. The reason I'm wearing a coat indoors is because our air conditioner has been kind of on the fritz. Like, it comes on, goes off. I don't know what's going on. But we woke up and it wasn't on for like majority of the night, I believe, and it didn't come back on until like after lunchtime. We don't really know what's coming on. I think we have somebody coming over later, because the other day, about a week ago, it tried like going off, but it came back on like 20-30 minutes later. So my mom didn't think anything of it. Maybe it just was, messing up, whatever. So today, like I said, it didn't come on till like after like 1 o'clock. So our heater didn't come on until like 1 o'clock. So that's going on, and that's why I'm wearing a coat, because like I said, it's going like off and on, and I just don't want to get too cold. Anyway, the dream I want to talk about. I had this dream probably about 4 nights ago, and it was a really powerful dream. So for this dream to make sense, I have another dream on this channel. I know it's on this channel because I remember recording it. And I had a dream around my birthday. So if you do not know, my birthday is next Monday, and I don't really exactly, like, I'm happy that it's my birthday. Like, I always enjoy birthdays. Like, who doesn't enjoy getting gifts and stuff? Like, you're crazy if you don't enjoy that. But the reason I'm kind of dreading my birthday is because I'm turning 20, and I just don't want to turn 20. To me, it may not sound old to other people, but to me, turning 20 sounds old, okay? To me, it sounds old. I mean, I don't know, to me it sounds old, literally, and then, to me, 20 just sounds old, I guess the bottom line. And that's kind of why I'm dreading my birthday. But yes, my birthday is next Monday, and I'm just kind of dreading it. But for my birthday, my mom is supposed to be taking me to the bookstore. If you don't know, on TikTok, I review books. And my mom's going to take me to the bookstore, and she's going to let me get a few books for my birthday. And that's going to be really awesome. And besides that, I believe we're going to eat at, I don't know if y'all have ever been there, but there's this restaurant. It's called Sharky's. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's like really, really good. And like, I feel like it's not popular enough, but it's really, really good. It's kind of like, if you ever ate at Chipotle's, I never actually ate at Chipotle's, but Sharky's is very similar to Chipotle's, is what I hear. I never actually eaten at Chipotle's, but I hear it's very similar to Sharky's. So we're going to go eat at Sharky's, and Sharky's is literally like one of my favorites. It's just, yeah, Sharky's is literally one of my favorites. So it'll be fun. We'll have fun, get some books and whatnot. Anyway, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, besides the bookstore and all that, I believe my mom might be taking me to get tiramisu cake, because I just want to try it. Ever since I've heard of tiramisu, I just always wanted to try it, and it just sounds really good. I mean, people say it tastes like coffee, and if you don't know, I really like coffee. So I believe I will like it. One of my favorite desserts, which I've actually had, is, of course, one of my favorite, Chris had it. Just the way I said that was kind of weird. But one of my favorite desserts is strawberry shortcake. Oh my gosh, that is so good. And I'm hoping that this tiramisu is as good as that was. So we got some plans going for my birthday, and we'll see if they plan out. Because, sometimes we plan things and it doesn't always work out, which is okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, yeah, back to the dream. I know I was kind of talking about my birthday, but yeah, I'm just kind of dreading turning 20, I guess, is the main gist of it. So, last year when I was turning 19, I had a dream around my birthday. It wasn't on my birthday, it was just around my birthday. It was really close to my birthday. I had a dream where God basically threw a party for me, and there was other stuff in the dream. In the dream, he told me stuff about Trump. Well, this year, about 3 or 4 days ago, I had another dream that was also about my birthday. He didn't throw a party like he did last year, but I'm going to tell y'all the dream, because it was just like mind-blowing. Like, this dream was crazy, and if you've been watching my dreams, this dream will also make a lot of sense. It's just crazy the way God talks to me, and as I explained, I'm a overthinker. I overthink so much. Like, I don't mean to. It's just I'm an overthinker. Sorry, just fixing the camera. And so yeah, let's get into the dream. So in the dream, it's just this is insane. So in the dream, I'm at Walmart, and in the dream, my mom's telling me that she wants to get me a gift that's more personal, because she was like, going to the store and buying you books isn't really personal. Because she was telling me, she's like, I know that you wanted books, but you told me that you wanted that. And she's like, I just want to get you something that I picked out without you having to tell me. So in my dream, I gave her like 12 different things that I wanted, and I told her I'd be happy with any of these. And she's like, and I'm like, whatever you pick to buy me, I was like, I'll be happy with any of these. So in my dream, she decided to buy me red lipstick, because if you don't know, I really like red lipstick. I know, it's just like a thing. And am currently basically out of my favorite red lipstick, so that it really makes sense in the dream that she would get me red lipstick. So like I said, I never really been into makeup. Like, I'm not even, like, I know I might look like I'm wearing makeup, but I'm not. Like, I'm just really red. I've always like been red. Like, it's just how I was made, how God made me. And but yeah, I've never really been too much into makeup, but I do really like red lipstick. I don't know, it's just always been a thing with me. I just really like red lipstick. So in my dream, she was buying me red lipstick. And I don't know if all Walmarts are the same, but our Walmart, it kind of has like the medicine aisle and the makeup aisle right next to each other. I don't know if it's the same in every Walmart, but anyway, so we're on the makeup aisle, we're looking at the lipsticks, and I'm like, I don't know, because like the lipsticks were like in my dream like kind of pretty expensive, and I was like, I don't know if we should spend that much on a lipstick. I'm like, it's just my birthday, and I was like, I have a birthday every year, and like, I don't think we should spend that much. And in my dream, I was telling my mom, I was like, you already bought me books. I'm like, I don't think we should be spending this much money on lipstick. So we're looking, and mom's like, no, she's like, get lipstick, any lipstick you want. And so in my dream, this girl shows up, and she grabs my hand. Yeah, she just randomly grabs my hand. Like, I don't know who this girl is. Like, who is this girl? So in my dream, she grabs my hand, and like, I don't really know what's going on. Like, this random chick just grabbed my hand. So this chick grabs my hand, and she pulls me, and we're walking and walking and walking. And I said, really, for this dream to make sense, you need to go back and watch that video. I have it on my channel. It's probably around almost a year old now. And I had another dream close to my 19th birthday, and it will make this dream make a lot more sense. So like I said, she grabbed my hand, and we're walking and walking, and then all of a sudden, as we're walking, it turns into the bookstore that I plan to go to on my birthday. And I know, very coincidental, am I right? So I look at this girl, and I want you to know, I've seen this girl in like a lot of my dreams. Me and my mom just basically believe she's my guardian angel, because I've seen her in just like so many of my dreams. We basically just believe she's my guardian angel. I mean, like, she's like, the best way to put it is that I feel like she's there to protect me. Okay, I'm back. I paused the video real quick because my dad came in there, and I don't know about other dads, but mine's particularly loud. So that's why I paused the video real quick, but I'm going to try to continue off where we were. So we're talking about the dream, and I believe we're at the part where we were at the bookstore. And like I said, I believe this girl to be my guardian angel, because just like, if you could see her, like, I can try to explain her to people, but I'm like, I truly believe. And we call her a farm girl, because oftentimes when I see her, she's like, she looks like a farm girl. Like, I don't even know how to like explain that really. Like, she has really, really blonde hair. And then I don't really remember what color her eyes were, because sometimes I'm like, her eyes are blue, and sometimes like her eyes are brown. But I don't honestly really remember. So, but yeah, like, I believe she's my guardian angel. I've seen her in like multiple of my dreams. So I see her, and I'm like confused. I'm like, because the bookstore I want to go to is like an hour away from where I live. And so in my dream, I was like, I didn't think we walked that far. Like, my feet weren't hurting, nothing. I'm like, how the heck are we here all of a sudden? And the guardian angel, she starts going on. She's like, well, it's your birthday. And I'm like, yeah, my birthday is pretty soon. And she's like, why don't you look at books? And she's like, that's why we're here, isn't it? And I'm like, I guess I could look at books. And I'm like, I don't think there's really any point. This is what I basically told her in my dream. I was like, I don't think there's really any point for me to look at books because I can't take any of these with me. And when I said that, it was kind of funny because I basically told myself that this was a dream. But in my dream, I wasn't registering that this was a dream. I don't know. It never occurred to me this was a dream, but I was telling myself it was a dream. It was weird, I know. So, my guardian angel's there. I call her my guardian angel, like I said. That has not been verified. Like, God hasn't specifically told me that's your guardian angel, but I believe her to be. So, there, and my guardian angel points at this guy that's sitting, because the bookstore I like to go to has a coffee shop. So, there's this guy sitting at this coffee shop, and she points at him, and she's like, look. And I'm like, okay, I'll look. So, I look at this guy, and as I look at this guy, it turns into Yahweh. And it was funny because in my dream, it was like God was dressed as if he was from our time. And you know how people dress this day. It's a lot different from when they dressed like in Bible times. And it kind of weirded me out because like I realized it was Yahweh, but I never seen Yahweh dressed like he's from our time. And then in my dream, the angel told me, he was like, the reason he showed himself like this, how he would look like in our time, is because she told me that I really worry that I'm not going to recognize God when he returns. And he's like, that's why Yahweh wants to show you different versions and how he would look different and stuff. And she said that's why he showed you how he would look in our time. So when you see him, you can recognize him. And I'm like, okay. And then she told me this again, which I just had a recent dream previously where I was told by Yahweh the same thing basically. But she said, you are a seer. And I was like, okay, I'm a seer. I'm a seer. And after that, she grabbed my hand and she took me farther back in the store. And she took me to there was like a shelf with this author's books. And I read like some of these author's books and I actually like her. I read some of these. It was like a couple authors I like, but I read some. And she was like, why don't you look at these books? Why don't you pick a couple? And I'm sorry if you hear anything. My dad's being kind of loud. I mean, it's not his fault, but we live kind of a small house, and the rooms are close, so, yeah. So, he's being kind of loud. But anyway, continuing the dream. So, like, she took me to this author of books I like to read, and I was kind of asking her, I'm like, is this about books that I read? Like, is it wrong that I read these books? And she was like, no. She's like, you can read as many books as you want. She's like, that's not going to hurt you at all. She's like, if you want to read a book, read a book. And I'm like, good, because I find really enjoyment out of reading books and reviewing them on TikTok. I try to review them each month. And I was just in my dream, it really like put me at ease knowing that Yahweh was okay with me reading these books. So after that, she was like, so you want to look at them? And I'm like, just telling her again, I basically just repeating, I'm like, I can't take them with me. And then she said, when you wake up, there might be a gift. And I'm like, what kind of gift? And she was like, Yahweh can surprise you in many different ways. And I'm like, this isn't making any sense. So, yeah, in my dream, like, it just wasn't making any sense. It was almost like she was talking just, like, in riddles. Like, I was confused. Like, I didn't even understand why I was here. Like, the whole dream, I was just, like, asking, why am I here? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And then she showed me Yahweh again. So I looked over at the coffee shop. Even though we were farther back in the store, I could still see Yahweh. It was, like, weird how to explain it. And I'm looking, but this time when I see Yahweh, I see what I believe to be the devil or a demon. And I'm like, oh, like it scared me. And I asked the angel, I'm like, what was that? And she was like, Yahweh can't tell you. She was like, Yahweh can't tell you what he wants to tell you, but I can tell you. And I'm like, why can't Yahweh tell me? Like, he's always been able to tell me before. Even my previous dream I had around my birthday, he talked to me. And she was like, because Yahweh's protecting you from a lot of demons right now. And she's like, he's protecting you from a lot of demons right now. And like when she said that, I felt really grateful, and I was like really happy that Yahweh's protecting me. I mean, who wouldn't be happy about that? And she was like, Yahweh wanted to tell you something, but he can't because he's too busy protecting you from all these demons. And I was like when she said that, I was just like, whoa. And she was like, the demons you were seeing is what Yahweh's protecting you from. And in my dream, it just like, I believed it was like a really scary demon, and he was like, Yahweh's really trying to protect you. And then I was like asking her, I'm like, why is Yahweh really trying to protect me, basically, is what I was asking her. I mean, I might word it different in my dream, but basically what I was asking her. So yeah, I basically asked, like, why is Yahweh protecting me from all these demons? And the way she answered me was kind of crazy. Well, this is what she told me. So I had a previous dream where I was shown where I was supposed to go in the end times, and she brought that dream up. And she told me, she was like, you remember how Yahweh told you that was your safe place and all that? And I'm like, yeah. And I completely remembered that because I had these dreams pretty close together. And she was like, Yahweh wants me to tell you that it's going to be closer to you staying in that safe place, closer to 1.5 years than 1 year or 5 months. Because in the previous dream, Yahweh told me 1 year or maybe 5 months. But in this dream, the angel was telling me it's leaning closer to 1.5 years. You might have to stay in that safe zone. And I'm like, okay. Like I said, this will make a lot more sense if you watch the previous video and then the birthday video I had last year. It'll make a lot more sense. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, so when you go in this forest, so yeah, in the previous dream, she showed me a forest, and she was telling me that I might have to hide in that forest when the end days happen. And if I stay in that forest, I'll be safe. But in the dream, Yahweh had told me that I might have to stay in that forest 5 months or 1 year. But in this dream I had after, the angel was telling me that it's leaning closer that I might have to stay in that safe zone maybe 1.5 years. And I was like, okay. I was like, in my dream, it was like I was okay with that because I'm like, whatever God needs me to do, I'm okay. And in the dream, she was like telling me, she was like, just stay in that safe zone. She's like, if you leave that safe zone, you are going to die. And she's like, during this time, you're going to really want to go looking for God, but don't do that. She's like, if you go looking for God, you're going to die. She's like, you know how God's a shepherd and he goes looking for his sheep. She's like, if you were a shepherd, you go looking for your sheep, wouldn't you, if it went lost? And I was like, yeah, of course. If I lost a sheep and I was a shepherd, I'd go looking for it. And she's like, Yahweh's the same way. He's like, as long as you stay in that forest, Yahweh will come find you. She's like, just don't leave that forest. That forest is your safe zone. And then at this moment, I was wondering, because in my dreams, I have had several dreams where Yahweh has shown me that I'll be separated from my family during the end times. So I was like asking her, I was like, what separates me from my family? Because I've had multiple dreams where Yahweh showed me I'm going to be separated from my family. So I asked my angel, I was like, what's going to separate me from my family? And for a split second, I like saw, and I didn't even really want to mention what it was because it was kind of scary, and I don't want to mention what it was. But she showed me what's basically going to separate me from my family. And I didn't want to really talk about it anymore. It kind of made me sad. So I just told the angel, basically, I was like, okay. I was like, if that's God's will, so be it. And then she was like, Yahweh has a gift for you. And I'm like, what's this gift? And I was like, he can't actually give me anything. And she's like, just wait. She's like, miracles can happen. She's like, when you wake up, there might be a gift for you. And I'm like, how can Yahweh bring me a gift? And she said, Yahweh really wanted to tell you this. But she said since he's not able to, he asked me to tell for him. And at this moment, it was almost like Yahweh spoke to me through her. And basically, for my gift, he wanted to tell me happy birthday. And basically, in my dream, he spoke through who I believe to be my guardian angel. And basically, he was telling me happy birthday. And then after, he was really quick. And then she was like, I asked her, I was like, what's my present? Because, like, he didn't give me a present. He just basically told me happy birthday. And she was like, I get it's not exactly the same as having him sitting here and telling you happy birthday, like he did in the previous year, basically. And she was like, but it's just, this is all we can really do because time's getting short and all that. So in the dream, all of a sudden I had, like, a vision. And I saw a Bible, what I believed to be a Bible. It was a black Bible, and it had a cross on it. And I saw it was kind of like not very close to the end, but almost in the middle of the Bible. Like I would say close to the middle. And she was like, those pages are how much longer we have. And I started asking her, I'm like, does the pages represent a day? Do each page represent a year? Because when I said this Bible, it was almost like directly in the middle of the Bible. And at this moment, like no one had to tell me, I just realized that book wasn't a Bible. It was the book of life. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it kind of, I wasn't exactly scared, but it made me realize like how much longer time we had. And I was like, I was excited because it was a little longer than I thought. And I made me excited knowing it. We had more time than I thought, but it was still kind of scary realizing that's how much time we had. And I started asking her, I'm like, do the pages represent one day? Do they represent a year? And she told me she would basically, she didn't really say it, but she like showed it, and she's like, I'm not allowed to tell you that. She basically, the way she said it in my dream was that she was like, God is telling me not to tell you that because it will mess up other people's beliefs. And basically she was just telling me she wasn't allowed to tell me how much time was left. And that made me kind of sad, but I knew why she couldn't tell me. And then I asked her, I was like, what is my birthday gift? Because I was kind of feeling down, and I was like, maybe that'll make me more happy. And I was like, I don't think God can give me a gift. And she was like, God can give gifts in mysterious ways. And she said, honestly, I think your gift was just the happy birthday, just him telling me happy birthday. And she was like, basically, I felt that she was like, I know hearing it through me isn't the same as hearing it from God himself. But she was like, that's all he could really do because he's really busy protecting you from all these demons. And then she said it, this is what she said. She said, happy B-Day, which if you don't know, that just means happy birthday. But she said, happy B-Day, and then that was it. That was the entire dream. That dream was like just wow. Just wow, wow, wow. That was a really, really, really crazy dream. Just like insane. And then that's pretty much the whole dream. Like I said, like that dream was such a blessing. Like, thank you, Yahweh. Raise my hand. Thank you, Yahweh. And I know you were busy protecting me from all these demons, and you weren't able to tell me happy birthday yourself, but instead you told me through an angel, who I believe to be my angel. Like I said, she has really blonde hair. Like when I see her, she has the blondest hair like I've ever seen. And in some dreams we call her the farmer girl because she kind of dresses like a farmer. Like I think I've had like some dreams where she kind of wears overalls and stuff. Like it's funny. Like I said, I hope next time I see her in my dreams I can remember what eye color she has, because I can't remember if her eyes were brown or blue. But yeah, I just call her my angel because I've had quite a few dreams with her in it. And I'm glad Yahweh's protecting me, and I thank him. He has blessed me more than I feel like I deserve. Thank you, Yahweh. Thank you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole dream. And thanks for watching. I'm just going to end the video here. But thanks for watching, and I guess bye for now.